Good afternoon, speed gamers. You are witness to another great match in the Metroid Fusion Open Randomizer tournament. I'm Army of One, being joined by Autumn out of habit. Autumn, how are you doing today?
You know, feeling a little salty, but not too bad.
I thought you weren't salty. I thought you were just disappointed.
Just a little salt.
Has the salt had time to accumulate in the body? But yeah, actually a little bit of a funny story for this race. It was almost going to be postponed because turns out some key hunters have actually overrun the BSL research station, and Samus couldn't arrive until Wednesday. So Scott, wait.
What are you talking about, Army?
Sorry, I got my notes mixed up. It turns out Scotty's apartment is full of bees at the moment.
So you're saying they're entering the BSL research station?
Yes, that is exactly what... I knew that you were going to come up with a terrible pun, and I was not disappointed. But yeah, so Scotty's apartment is actually full of wasps at the moment, a wasp infestation. The exterminator is coming on Wednesday, but he's decided he's going to go ahead and run on emulator. I don't know where he's streaming from.
You don't need to know. If you know, the wasps might find out.
Yes, the wasps are looking for him. But yeah, so these are two great runners. Who do you... And I was reading the race room chat beforehand. Both of them think that they're going to be crushed by the other one.
I mean, Scotty's been calling that this whole tournament, and he's dropped a total of 4
really
races.
He has. Well, this one has started, so let's see if we have audio. Hello? We do have audio. We've got some quiet audio, it sounds like.
And we've also got video, as our runners have started. And for anyone new here, tuning in this late in the tournament, or on YouTube later, we have our runners off, making their way up to the operations deck to find their first item, which will be one of 3 items. We could find Morph Ball, Speed Booster, or Missiles to start. And I want to know, Army, chat, what do you think we're going to see first here?
I'm thinking Speed Booster start. I'm thinking Jeremy Clarkson might be somewhere in this speed somewhere, yelling speed. That's usually one of the more common starts. That and missiles, but we'll see if we get something spicier.
Yeah, I almost always see missiles yesterday, but you know, I would love to see a second Morph Ball seed in a row after the one that I didn't love the outcome of yesterday, but enjoyed the seed itself quite a bit. And our first item is in fact missiles. Is this even randomized?
And well, with that missile start.
With that missile start, to give a shout out to our tracker, Autumn Out of Habit. So feel free to complain to her if you see anything not getting tracked.
So with that missile start, we'll be heading into the Arachnus vents, as it's the only checks that we have available to us. And the only way out of the Arachnus vents is with Morph Ball. So we'll be seeing at least Morph Ball in these first 5 checks. 4 left, seeing that was a... We've got 2 E-Techs. Very healthy start. Yeah.
There is game audio chat. It is a little on the quiet side.
Yeah, I will. I'll ping the volunteer.
And speaking of Morph Ball that we were looking for earlier, we do in fact already have our Morph Ball above Arachnus. Let's see if we get another major in these next 2 checks. Another E-Tank. And let's see if we get the full set of 4 E-Tanks.
Now, because they already have Morph Ball, they could just leave if they wanted to, which is actually kind of funny. You just leave Arachnus hanging.
Yeah, but, you don't see that a lot of times because you'll never want to go back if you do it. The only time I've heard of it happening in the tournament was actually my 3rd game against CScottyW when I bailed on Arachnus. Because when you're playing against Scotty, you have to take some gambles, because he will out-execute everyone. But just the Arachnus Special Deluxe today, 4 E-Tanks and a 4 E-Tanks and a Morph Ball, rather.
And Scotty was waiting for a moment, but he's decided to go ahead and race the rest of the seed, even though he didn't get anything special from the Arachnus vents. Ivan,
Scotty
a little bit
to take
ahead.
a moment to think about what he's done.
Yeah, you just wasted so much time on that armadillo. But Ivan, a little bit ahead, heading into the main elevator. And we'll see real quick what's in this cubbyhole.
Just another
Oops! All E-Tanks! This actually isn't randomized. It's just
Scotty
all the items have been... All items have been replaced with E-Tanks.
No, that's not true. There was some trash up the main elevator, and as our runners are going down into the sectors, with a Morph and Missile start, we could see our runners going into Sector 1 or 2 first. I tend to think Sector 2 is the better play because it gets your blue doors open and gives you more utility. But both of our runners disagree with me, and we will see both runners taking the same path into Sector 1. I think this is a good moment to tell our audience what we're trying to do here. So what we need to do is complete the game. We have to spawn the SAX fight and finish the ending sequence. For that, we'll need Charge Beam, Plasma Beam, Missiles, and opening level 4 security locks. And Army, why don't you tell everybody what we need to do in order to open those level 4 security locks?
So for the level 4 security locks, within logic at least, you do need the Gravity Suit, Speed Booster, Morph Ball, and either Morph Ball bombs or Screw Attack. You do need missiles again. Not often that it comes up that you don't have missiles by the time you can go into lower 4, but hey, it happens, doesn't it, Autumn? And then you also need some sort of way out of lower sector 4, and that's either going to be Screw Attack or some sort of ice. Usually diffusion missiles, but sometimes Ice Beam and Wave Beam, sometimes just ice missiles, if you just scam your way out of the lower sector 4 using a misplaced POW amp freeze. But we do have bombs at the top of sector 1, so that'll split open sector 2 wide open. They won't be able to get out quite immediately. They do need some ice or some jump upgrades.
And did you see what was across the lava dive? I couldn't quite get a read on it on Ivan's screen.
I think it was just a...
it looks like power bombs on Scotty's screen.
Yeah, I think it was just power bombs.
So we will not see our runners coming back to find that item today. And the tracker is not cooperating with me. I am clicking things and they are not clicking. Probably user error, but I would rather blame the technology here, as our runners are getting through stabilizer number 2. And each of these stabilizers requires 3 missiles to kill when you're at base missiles. Although as you get upgraded damage output, you can take these out a little bit quicker. And some runners like to put off Sector 1, hoping that they will get a quicker way to deal with those. Fun fact, power bombs can put Sector 1 into logic. On higher difficulty settings, you can also be required to use speed to get through the first stabilizer, but we are playing on difficulty 2 of Randomizer 0.9.0 for the duration of the tournament. And as such, that is not required here.
And Scotty used the remaining bit of his missiles to get through those pirates, so hey, guess what, folks? You can check off farming for missiles.
Unless he gets really lucky with the green X drop, and he does not. Commentator's curse. And fortunately, without Speed Booster, our runners will have to leave a couple of checks behind here. They won't even be able to take a look at the item in the watering well, and Scotty, with great luck, getting 2 20% drops on those green X. As well as
getting
double.
0 beams? What is this lookout?
And Scotty pulls ahead of Ivan a little bit. But our runner's not able to check the item above charge core or in the watering hole because we don't have speed booster.
And that's why I usually like to put off Sector 1 myself, specifically because of these speed booster checks.
I agree. And that was probably a divergence that has been seen in a couple of my runs, because I know some people I've played against are known for going Sector 1 first all the time. And the Crab Rave has a major for us today. And what have we found? We found ice missiles.
That's an extra 10 damage for the missiles, but unfortunately it freezes everything, so while it's better for bosses, it's worse for just about everything else.
Only takes 2 hits to kill the 1 stabilizer that our runners have left to actually take out. And Scotty clipping into stabilizer number 4 to take it out. There is one more stabilizer on the station, however, we will not be visiting that today because there are no items there and Adam's not telling us to do it. And chat pointing out that this is a Zelda seed with both bosses we've seen so far just giving health upgrades. And just some power bombs over at Baby's first wall jumps. And Scotty has taken a slight lead over Ivan, getting a little bit of a high five going into and out of the wall jump room. And let's see, not a whole lot else our runners can do from here. There is one check in upper sector 3 that our runners can look at. Well, no, we would still need to go to sector 2. So sector 2 is going to be the play because our runners can't go anywhere else. The question is, will they just check the items in upper sector 2, or are our runners both going to dive into lower sector 2? The ice missiles do give them a logical way out, although it is a pain waiting on the Zoros to come low enough to jump on.
Yeah, it's pretty much a 50-50 shot whether the Zoro on the left goes up or down. And if it goes up, then either you flip the coin again or you just wait.
You say 50-50, but I've had to reset the room 10 times before. So sometimes the RNG needs the runner.
That is true, but that is a probability greater than 0, so it can happen.
Going into the cargo jump room, and with ice missiles, runners are able to just freeze the cargo to hop over it, and getting space jump. Ivan right behind Scotty, going to find space jump as well. And the one item we didn't point out that's required here is we do need one of high jump or space jump to get the SAX to spawn. And space jump here will take out one of our go mode obstacles. Oh, chat calling for vanilla speed booster. You love to see it.
Also with ice, I mean, I guess they don't have high jump yet, so they can't quite make the clip into lower sector 4 if they wanted to do that.
Yeah. Honestly, space jump to me suggests that lower sector 2 might be the way forward, because that does put getting out further into logic as well as the items up near Notori. We'll see if the runners think similarly. With both runners opening their level 1 security locks, this will give access to sectors 3 and 4. Runners will only have one check available in sector 3 until they find speed booster. But there are also the entirety of sector 4 aside, or of upper sector 4 aside from waterway, will be available to our runners here.
Ceres won't be in logic though. No speed booster. Well, so no speed booster, no gravity suit means you can't get out. But also no high jump means that you can't get in logic.
Yeah, although where these runners are going, I don't think they need logic.
I mean, we all do play Metroid Fusion. Logic is not our strong suit.
And Ivan especially has been no stranger to doing a bunch of even out-of-bounds clips to get out of logic, so I don't think he would let a small thing like Ceres stop him on that. And Speed Booster in the data room, so scrap everything we've just said.
Cyrus, still technically not in logic, but certainly within possibility.
This makes a more interesting play. The randomizer logically also does prioritize newly opened locations, at least in the version that we are running on here. So Speed Booster to me is saying that we're probably looking at Sector 3 being the play. And also, I'm of the opinion that when you have the means to open your green doors, you go open your green doors right away, because that lets you go into Sectors 5 and 6 whenever you want to, as well as you can go pay a visit to the animals. I don't think we'll see those getting saved here in a loser's quarters matchup, though.
Well, I suppose that depends upon when that Sector 2 data room was placed, because you don't need bombs to do that.
That is also true.
That's one of the checks that is logically immediately available to you. Once
Scotty's
you
got to be
past
careful here. He is running low on health. He will opt to pick up some missiles. He's been bitten a couple of races in the past for not having enough. Like, I know we're talking CScottyW here, but still, enemies hit like a truck, although he picked up that red X, so he is okay.
That blue Zoro has a very high possibility of dropping a red X. I'm not sure what it is, but it's more often than not.
Yeah, there are a few enemies that are coded to pretty much be that. The red enemies in lower sector 4, they're the one enemy there that's not crabs or fish. And we have our Oasis check. We have our Wonderwall check, just missiles at Oasis. And just some energy at Wonderwall. Scotty saying no thanks. I imagine Ivan will do the same. Surprised to see Scotty not doing the underwater wall jumps to get out of there.
Well, he is running on emulator, so he might not be as comfortable with the controller he's using. It's a possibility.
Quick, somebody update Scotty's firmware. Not his emulator firmware, his own. And yes, Sophie, I do remember the time when you just got a green X from that blue Zoro. You hate to see it. That blue Zoro has also caused me a couple deaths.
Scotty entering his apartment, dodging the wasps. He only has one check up here, but he still has to be really careful. Those key hunters can hit like a truck when they have their stinger out.
I never knew that Scotty lived in Sector 2. I really think he needs to clean up around here, though. There are all these vines all over the place. Just, really unsightly. Can't believe he'd let a bunch of strangers watch this.
And that is a lot of damage for just running into an enemy. Ugh.
Our runners have been picking up some missiles, so you have to wonder, is anybody going to go to Zazabi? Scotty making the wise plays who check Ripper Tower while it is still open? Because if our runners pick up high jump, they can't get into this room again until they have space and plasma.
And using both crumble jumps,
Ivan getting these jumps down to the bottom of Pollo Palace to go up to Ripper Tower. That timing is incredibly tight.
Oh, this is 2 health left, Scotty. Those things do 45 damage. You only had 47.
Everybody was in shambles when I was down to 3 health recently. And has Scotty saved at all? I don't think I've seen either runner save.
I don't believe he has.
I have to imagine we see Scotty, even if he chooses not to fight Zazabi, have to imagine that he at least goes down there to grab the red X to refill. Although probably going to fight Zazabi, coming in here with enough missiles to take it out. Zazabi will take 10 shots of whatever you're bringing in, either missiles or charge beam. And yeah, Scotty very wisely saving, and let's save chat from all of this beeping.
Although Scotty did pick up a red, so he's no longer beeping, and we're missing out on the zombie theme. Kind of weird. Sort of sounds like elephants?
Now, one thing about missile upgrades is that they add a cooldown to your missile shots. Normally you fight this with base missiles. It's fine for the first 3 phases where you only need to get in 2 shots, but on the last phase, it can be tough to get in all 4. If you have diffusion, it's almost impossible. And Scotty only getting in 3, taking an extra cycle. And, you know, CScottyW, the best in the business in terms of execution, so that shows you how that is. We still have a Legend of Zelda seed today, though, as just another E-Tank. Both of these runners have well more health than they know what to do with, although damage runs are possibly in logic. And we don't have a way to mitigate any of them yet. The heated rooms in Sector 3 won't be bad with this much health, but the Ice X in Sector 6 can take you down really quickly.
And if we do see power bombs anytime soon, the lava maze in lower Sector 3 needs a lot of health to get there and back without dying.
Yeah, that's one where if you see it's a major, I think you just wait to go back until you have at least various suit.
I think I forget who was doing the testing, but without the speed boost across the first heated room, you need a full 8 E-tanks in order to survive. And we're not quite there yet, actually. So it's tight.
The thing I'm really looking forward to, though, I'm wondering when we're going to get a route divergence out of these runners.
Well, this is a possible route divergence right here, either 3 or 4. And
4 is appealing
Scotty's
because it's right
3.
next to you. 3 is appealing to get your level 2s open. Scotty wants to go check Charge Core.
Oh.
That's an interesting play. Okay, Scotty is going to save at the top, so he's going to save Scum out. Is he going to try to do the nearly frame perfect? No, with ice missiles, I don't even think you can get the watering hole, so Scotty is going a long way for just 1 check.
With ice missiles, if you open up the wall on the right side, you have just enough space. Killing the Hornodes in the room and then using that to leave.
No, I'm talking to kill the crab on the way down to the watering hole so that you can use the spark. You can get the spark. Oh, that must have been a major across. It was a major across lava dive, and it's gravity suit. So much better than the item that I've been finding, Wave Beam, over in the ouch room in Sector 4. So I have to say that Scotty's decision making paying off here.
Well, I think that just goes to show why I would have put off Sector 1 before Sector 2. We found speed in the Sector 2 data room, gravity on one of the speed checks in Sector 1. Let's see if there's something in the watering hole for us.
Yeah. Actually, I'm still not sure that you can get down there without hitting the crab. You probably can, but it's going to be a challenge. Meanwhile, Pump Control just having some trash underneath it. Maybe that's why it's not functioning.
To save the spark and respark in the room over and over again until you kill the crab.
Well, we'll find out soon. I mean, if there's anyone who can do it, it is Scotty. But chat correctly pointing out that it is going to be a beam hunt. I'm really hoping we have a charge go mode today. Charge go mode is just more fun than speed go mode.
And Ivan trying to space jump above the Ceres tank. Ooh, Scotty trying to respark and accidentally hitting the ladder.
And just a missile under the broken bridge. And Sarah's not in logic yet for Ivan, but we know that Gravity Suit is available, so we're in no mode that it's in logic. Saris will take, with Ice Missiles, 3 shots to take out. And Saris actually one of just a few bosses that can be logically required.
And there's the restart,
without Charge Beam.
But only missiles. A lot of effort, but it is a nice peace of mind check to say, okay, you know what? I've got everything that I need to get that, and I don't need to get that.
Of course, CScottyW makes it look easy. So we'll get to check above Charge Core and see what Saris has, and Saris just has some trash today. Because as we all know, Saris is never worth it. And just some trash above Charge Core. So Scotty going a long way to get nothing, but does not want to reset out of that Gravity Suit. Also, fun fact with Gravity Suit, while it prevents heat damage and it prevents lava damage, it does not prevent damage from the Ice X in Sectors 5 and 6. And Saris Escape has Plasma Beam. We are on a Charge Beam hunt. Commentators blurs here today. So both of our runners going different directions and both runners finding very good items. Now the real question is, does Ivan remember that there was a major at Lava Dive, and how long does he take? And Waterway, also a major.
Sector 4 absolutely stacked today.
Very so.
That's a safe Sector 6 right there.
Yeah, damage runs are officially off the table. Well, I guess there is the damage source of the green lava in Turian, but...
Yeah, the acid.
I guess Charge Beam could still be down there. Ridley, unfortunately, the dream is dead. And just missiles Scotty, in the drain pipe. Scotty going into Sector 3 to open level 2s.
And I can only imagine that he'll be heading straight to to Sector 5 to unlock his level 4s.
I have to agree with that. I had to think for a second to make sure that he's not missing something for it, but my philosophy is always, if you have the ability to open level 4s, you do it. You might find your Go Mode item on the way. And if Charge Beam is on the way to level 4s, Scotty will probably do Sector 4, upper 4 on his way out, so...
And I really like the routing of doing the Sector 4 loop, upper Sector 4, after doing lower Sector 4 if you can. It just flows really well for routing.
Yeah, I agree, and it's not very often the randomizer will give you that, especially with how often we have gravity hunts. But first we're going to see what is behind the monkey bars as Ivan hot on Scotty's tail. Going into Sector 3, and we've got a major across, and we have Charge Mode.
And we have Charge Beam.
We are in no mode. So the question is, who finds their Go Mode item first? Do we see Ivan going into Sector 1, or do we see Scotty going into Sector 4? I have to think that Scotty routes in Sector 4 after doing level 4 security, and I think he's got a pretty solid lead here.
It's hard to say because he went through the rest of Sector 1, wasting a little bit of time on that watering hole check.
That is true.
There's certainly less time. Interesting sync there. Both runners opting to go into Sector 3, though. But as I was saying, it takes a little bit more time to go through Sector 1 than it does to go through Sector 4. And it'll be the first check that Ivan finds in Sector 1, and he'll just be... But he would have to unlock level 4s after... Ooh, that's a hard call to say who's in first.
It's very interesting, and we have a major at the Nova Stairs. We've got Ice Beam on the Nova Stairs. Scotty having a little bit of trouble with his space jumps. Somebody might need to reboot the OS there. Once again, not on the computer, on Scotty himself. Makes sense that our runners would clear out Sector 3 though while you're here. And let's see what we've got at Bob today. We know it's not necessary, but Bob is vanilla today.
I mean, this would be the seed for vanilla, for energy Bob. Everything else has been energy.
Yeah, but we might have run out of energy. There are only 20 E-tanks in the game. And given that Ivan has collected 9 of them, and I know we've seen him skip some, we've probably seen at least 13 or 14 of those. Sophie, Wavebeam was the ouch room in Upper Sector 4. Really need a better name for that room. And get your cat jams in chat, as we've got box on screen. In fact, we've got double box.
Would you call this a boxing match?
I would not, Army. I would not, but I'm glad that you would. And Scotty putting box back into storage, Ivan not far behind. It can be absolutely fun to just body slam box whenever you have charge beam, particularly if you have charge ice. Your pseudo screw attack does 48 damage. It only takes 7 of those to take out box.
It brings a little bit of warmth to my heart to see people upset in chat at my bad puns.
I find it funny that chat gets upset at your puns, but they love mine.
That's favoritism right there.
Or maybe my puns are just better. And Scotty picking up the energy tank in the ceiling. Ivan choosing not to equip to find the power bomb item and is going to go collect his charge beam, so both of our runners will be 1 item from go mode.
And Scotty is opting not to unlock his level 4s yet. And instead going to Sector 4 probably.
Yeah, he's going to Sector 4. You could tell because he does the jump through the door to land directly on the elevator. So at this point, this is Scotty's race to lose. Unless Ivan remembers that there was a major at the lava dive and immediately rushes it, at which point we've got a race. Now the question is, does Scotty check Sarah's escape first, being 1 from go? A lot of times you do want to do the shallower checks before the deeper ones. Or is he going to just plan on fighting Saris and do the loop all the way through Sector 4?
And Ivan heading to Sector 1.
We've got a race here.
We've got a race. This will be real close. And Scotty is indeed checking the Saris escape first.
Yeah, Scotty will be the first to go mode at this rate. Not by a whole lot. I have to give the edge to Scotty at this point, just because he has the execution advantage. Starting to roll away, he is glad that he did not picking up his plasma beam, and we have it 32 minutes and 1 second. CScottyW, the first runner to go mode. And chat saying that I guess the second's right, and right behind him at 32:15.
Wait,
Ivan,
Scotty, what are you doing? Wait, Scotty, you're in go mode.
Oh,
where are you going, Scotty?
Wait, Scotty might be about to do a clip. No, Scotty doesn't have high jump. He can't do the clip.
No high jump.
And yeah, that clip would be faster to get down. And Scotty not going to like this pickup. Picking up Wave Beam. Aiming has been disabled for Scotty. I highly doubt that Scotty wants supers.
Yeah,
Scotty will generally go as soon as he has the capability to. I think he just doesn't realize he's in go. So that puts Ivan solidly in the lead.
Yeah, there's not really any check that is, I mean, maybe wide beam, but the possibility that you find wide beam is just so low that there's generally no check that's worth to make again. And he's going to go, oh, look, another major, but it's Varia. This is just a lot of time waste for Scotty, unfortunately.
I mean, Various Suit is nice if he ends up taking an Ice Beam shot against SAX, that he won't be frozen, but it's also Scotty, so what are the odds he takes that? Meanwhile, Ivan already into lower Sector 4, about to open up level 4 security. And I think Scotty realized, because he didn't try to check the item in upper lower 4. I've been having a little bit of trouble getting those bombs on the bomb blocks on the way to level 4s. And also being trolled by Wave Beam, as every runner of this game is. Solo Wave Beam, or Wave without Wide, is just incredibly cursed. And Scotty does have the execution edge, but I'm not sure he has enough of an edge to make this up. Ivan, with his level 4s opening up at 3450. When we see Scotty open level 4s, we'll be able to see just how far apart these runners are.
Scotty continuing to make checks and continuing to let those seconds just slip by.
Have to wonder what Scotty is looking for. He might be looking for wide beam, because we have seen runners pick up wide beam, and it can make up about 1.5 minutes of difference in the final 2 fights. So I could see making a couple of checks that are right along the path. Not a bad idea. Would I do it myself? Probably not.
But with Ice and Wave, it's a really easy exit through this POW amp right here.
Yeah, no scams today. And Ivan on his way out of Sector 4. Scotty about down to level 4 security.
A nice slick move to jump and go through those bomb blocks using Speed Booster, but not slick enough to make up. When did Ivan unlock his level 4s?
3450 was when the message popped up. So 34 or 36, 35. We are
minute
1
45.
minute 45 apart. I don't know that Scotty can make up 1:45 on Ivan. He could probably make it up on me, but not Ivan.
Yeah, he could make it up on me. Herc made it up on me.
Although with ice missiles, maybe not. Although the refreeze can get a little trolly when you just have Ice Wave. That is something I've learned from experience. Now, one other thing to look forward to. We haven't found Screw Attack today. So the real question is, have either of these runners been practicing their screwless low height? I know we've definitely seen some runners pulling it out in the tournament.
And by runners, you mean yourself and Jagger G.
I at least know Rezarin was practicing it. I didn't watch back the VODs to see if he pulled it. Oh, no, probably had Screw Attack for both of those.
Oh, Ivan accidentally dropping the freeze, but he's going for the easier horizontal freeze. a little less DPS, but it doesn't matter when you're killing them anyway.
Exactly. It'll slow you down, but it won't slow you down as much as dropping the stun lock. That is a play that Past Autumn really wishes that she had known. Also, a fun fact about Screwless Low Height. You actually can do it without using the Morph Ball setup. It's about 1/10 of a second faster. I haven't seen anyone go for that because it's significantly more difficult, but that would be something great to see in the tournament. With regular and ice missiles, we're going to need 12 missiles to take out the ice core. So far, no doubles from Ivan. I can't tell if that one was a double or not.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, just sometimes the motion makes it hard for me to tell if I'm seeing this right twice or once.
Well, it doesn't matter at this point.
The ice core.
And just as Scotty is entering the fight, Ivan is leaving.
Propulsion sequence activated.
Yeah, so this is about to be over, although with the cosine beam that we have, Omega can be a bit of a troll. I'm not sure if it can be enough of a troll to take out all of Ivan's energy, but you never know. And to respond to Precious Stones in chat, so because you do a Morph Ball setup for Screwless Low Height, it's actually a little bit easier than the standard Low Height.
As far as timing goes, it's certainly harder with movement.
Yeah, you have more leeway as far as when you start the spark. It's actually something that I tend to go for even when I have a screw attack at this point, because I'm much more consistent with it. However, Ivan not going for it. Not sure if he just dropped the Shine Spark or if he's just not familiar with the setup on it. As that is a fairly new piece of tech at this point. Now there is, I've been told, a stun lock that can be done with the beam combination Ivan has on the Omega Metroid. You have to crouch at a certain point relative to its claw. I know Linkshot talks about it a lot. I have yet to be able to find the setup. And Cryhard, we will be doing game 2 and if necessary 3 all in a row here. And you will have Army and I on deck for every bit of it because we certainly wouldn't want to be caught missing this action. And wow, Ivan is fighting the Omega. I would also like to just encourage everybody to go follow these runners. They are 2 of the best in the business. CScottyW with 4 world records than you can shake a stick at. Ivan, the #1 seed coming into the tournament, so we just have some top tier runners here. Although when we're down to the final 5 in the tournament, there are no bad runners left. I can say that for sure because I just got knocked out yesterday.
And that's the jokes that I was making yesterday as well.
And I've been letting go some ordnance into the BSL research station, finishing with a official racetime.gg time of 41 minutes 31 seconds. And gotta feel bad for Scotty. Ooh, not getting these set up for Screwless either. But you hate seeing your
showing off the
not
route
done when you're on your way out. I say anytime after you hit go mode, when you see the dot done, it just hurts, but when you've already taken sacks out, even worse. And it looks like we are going to be going directly into the second seed. Because we're watching with a 10-minute delay, a slight spoiler, but race 2 is already underway, so our runners will not be coming in for commentary. So we are going to watch Scotty finish off the Omega Metroid, and then we'll just have a couple minutes before we get to the start of the next race. And you know what? It's never too early to start this, so chat, what do we think's going to be the starting item for the next seed? I think we might just get a little bit of spice and get a Morph Ball start.
Also, as a little tidbit, we will never know why Scotty didn't enter Go mode when he picked up Plasma. He was asked in chat, since there's a little bit of a delay that we're watching after the race finished up. We asked him. He answered that we'll never know. I mean, most likely he didn't realize it, and he was just going through his Sector 4 loop.
With the time difference here,
that was definitely.
They were just shy of 2 minutes apart. I'm not sure if Scotty lost 2 minutes to that, but it would have been closer. And
I mean, Scotty had already. No, wait, he hadn't unlocked his level 4s at that point.
Yeah, he hadn't unlocked his level 4s at that point. And to answer chat, it is difficulty 1 that puts the speed booster start into logic.
And difficulty 3 that puts speed booster into Sector 1 into logic. And we're not doing that. Or at least, not logically. We have seen Scotty actually do that, and it paid off in a big way because the seed was just weird. But that is the end of this episode. There'll be a quick break just to run Twitch ads. Everyone go get yourself a drink, hydrate, and we will be right back.
Yeah, we will be starting again in just shy of 4 minutes.